But the result was that 3 or 4 days later, I was sent to report to Colonel Honour of the 39th Battalion had also come down to join us near Ghana, and he was going to. The 500 Japanese had attacked these Hattie's patrol at midnight in a thunderstorm, and Hattie had, after holding the Japanese off for a while, Hattie had told his boys to make their own way into the bush, and he stayed behind to cover them. So he gave his own life to cover his troops, and the 500 Japanese had attempted to get through to Gona, failed to do so. They'd pulled back and occupied this village, and was stationed there. So Colonel Honour was going to go inland on the tracks we'd come out. So I was to guide him, his battalion, down the track, and I was up front with the forward section, and single file virtually again, like the Kokoda track, and I heard voices, and I sent a message back down the line. We made close contact, we'd hear voices. The message came back, fire if necessary. And 3 figures come walking up the track together, talking away, like schoolboys on a picnic. And I let them get within about 2 metres from me, and I had a Thompson submachine gun. So I opened fire, and just one burst. I collected the 3 of them. I only used 6 rounds. I was credited with being very, very economical killing. But one was a colonel, next was a major, and one was a lieutenant. And what the hell they were doing, wandering around in the jungle? Someone tried to tell me after they'd gone for a swim. Well, there was no creeks or rivers anywhere close, and the sea was alongside them. I think if they wanted to swim, they'd have swum in the sea. And anyway, the colonel had maps of Darwin in his satchel. He had all this paraphernalia, his sword hanging on his side, his binoculars, and a row of 9 ribbons on his chest. One of those was the Order of the Rising Sun, which is the equivalent of our Victoria Cross, the Order of the Sacred Treasure, the Order of the Golden Kite, and the 4th one was never been really identified, and he had 5 ribbons of service, mainly in China. But he was obviously fairly new to the area. He was fit, pudgy. He hadn't been on a starvation diet for too long. But I was commended for capturing the documents. People asked afterwards, said that the Japanese never intended to come to Australia. I said, well, was that like coming to Darwin to play golf?